and God bless. Hope y'all are doing well. I feel like it's been a while since I've said that. But we're going to go over in this video Blacephalon counters, as well as just a little update, because I have not been uploading. But look, Blacephalon, we'll just rock straight into that. The best counters. Its weakness is a lot of things. Ground, rock, ghost, water, and dark. Now, luckily, with saving up enough Pokecoins from gym battles, or not gym battles, but keeping my Pokemon in a gym, I've been able to buy a remote raid so you guys can see a Blacephalon raid. Now, my other phone is, but it's not really working too well, which is unfortunate. It keeps dying too quickly, but is what it is. That's one of the main reasons why I got this phone, because I knew that battery capacity is to butt. But that's why I wasn't able to record it as best as possible while me talking and doing the raid. So that's why you just see the raid and I'm talking. So the best counters, the first one is Primal Kyogre. Now, luckily, during the wild area event that we got, oh my goodness, was it 6 months ago? Hopefully you guys played that, but that event gave us a bunch of chances to get Kyogre and Groudon, both the Primal and of course Primal Groudon as well, just being able to get enough candies to be able to get it, hopefully. But Primal Kyogre is number one with Waterfall and Origin Pulse. The second one is Primal Groudon. Big shocker, which is kind of funny that both Primals are the best counters. But Mudshot and I'm dyslexic, I can't read the last one, but it's ground type moves is what you want on Groudon. Number 3, which is kind of surprising to me, I'm not gonna lie. Mega Tyranitar is the number 3 counter with Bite and Brutal Swing. Now, we already know that Tyranitar is a fantastic Pokemon, but with it being this Mega, being the third best against Blacephalon, I think that's a little crazy. But then we have Mega Swampert at number 4, which kind of blew my mind even further, because I'm gonna keep it a buck. A lot of times, Mega Swampert doesn't really have too many uses. Like, yes, it's a decent water type, but Kyogre blows it out of the water. So the fact that it's better than some of the other Pokemon I'm about to name, I'm kind of surprised. Number 5 is Shadow Tyranitar. Now, I always say make sure you have Tyranitars, but on top of that, I always say if you have the Shadow version of the Pokemon, that's a good counter. So for example, Tyranitar is a great example. You'll see more later, but make sure that you have some of these Shadow Pokemon. And a lot of these times, you can get these Shadow Pokemon from Grunts. Now, certain Grunts give out certain things, but I know some Pokemon we're going to name later, like Shadow Kyogre, which is also a fantastic counter. You were only able to get through Giovanni a long time ago. So you won't be able to get Shadow Kyogre, but you might get, like, one of our next counters, Shadow Rhyperior. Shadow Rhyperior it's a good ground type, but it's also a good rock type. And it even shows Mud Slap and then Rock Wrecker as the second attack. So again, just note that both counters work. Rock and ground work great. So the fact that Rhyperior does have 2 different typing attacks doesn't affect on how good it's still going to be. Like, it's still going to be really good. Then we have Shadow Groudon, which is in the same boat as Shadow Kyogre. So if you don't have Shadow Groudon or Shadow Kyogre, you're kind of out of luck when it comes to that. Kind of. Like, you can still technically use the normal versions and they'll still kind of work for you for the most part, but I'm telling you, hopefully you have those. It says Mega Garchomp. There's a lot of Megas, a lot of them, so you have so many different options to choose from. My personal opinion, I'd use Primal Kyogre while using normal Kyogres, and then my second counter being Shadow Tyranitar and Shadow Rhyperior. Like, it's a mix of Pokemon, yes. It's not all the same Pokemon, but they're all still going to be great. They're all going to be super effective versus Blacephalon. I'm not sure what I used, to be quite honest. Like, if I wanted to, like, peak my performance, I would use what I just said. But I'm not going to lie. I think I just used what was recommended to me, and it worked pretty well. There's also some other random counters. So, like, Dawnwings Necrozma is decent just because it has Ghost-type attacks. Then there's Shadow Swampert. Shadow Samurott, just simply because it's a decent water type attacker, but you don't need to go that further. That's like a Dollar Tree type of attacker. You need some Dollar Tree attacks. You can use Shadow Feraligatr, Hydreigon, Shadow Groudon, Landorus, the Therian form, Shadow Palkia, Shadow Rampardos. Like, I'm kind of just throwing out some other ones that just in case you don't have these counters I just said, then you could use those. I don't know how, that must have been falling like this whole time, and now finally it fell. But that's the counters for Blacephalon. But now we can show you a shiny that I was able to catch, which was pretty cool. I almost forgot about this too. Before I show you the shiny that I caught, the Pikachu with the captain whatever hat, that can be shiny. It's out right now, and I say that because it doesn't come out too often, so make sure you like go out and try and get it. I'm not gonna say it's like the easiest thing to find, by the way. I've only found a total of like 2 spawns. However, it's still possible to find. On top of that, it should be in 1-star raids, and then on top of that, it should be in research as well. So there's a lot of different ways to be able to find this, which is pretty cool. And I like that, you know, this Pikachu isn't locked in towards raids, because sometimes Pokemon Go does that. We remember the holiday events where they kind of lock stuff behind raids. This is not the case. And then on top of that, not only is the Pikachu in the wild that could be shiny, there's also a different Pokemon that we'll go over that is also spawning during this event. But take snapshots. I didn't realize this until I was doing it, but you can you can take, thank you for saying bless you, you can take snapshots with your buddy. Now this is pretty cool because it's not just one specific Pokemon, it could be a couple different things. Now one of them, the counters, was Quaxley, which can't be shiny yet, but still something. But the Pokemon, the new Pokemon that can be shiny that has a costume during this event is the Meowscarade, which is Sprigatito's evolution. So it has a hat on, which is pretty cool. That could be shiny. You can get that from the buddy screenshots, as well as you can potentially get Pikachu with the not scuba diver, the captain hat, whatever you want to call it. So there's ways to be able to get this Pokemon even easier than before. Like if you're someone who doesn't have Pokestops around them too often, pop your blue incense for 1, and then number 2, make sure you do your buddy screenshots every single day to try and get more counter potentials. So that is some cool ways to get some new costume shinies. I know the Pikachu isn't new, but the Meowscarade is new. And speaking of the Meowscarade, I popped my blue incense, I think almost 2 days ago now, maybe 1 day. I lose track of time, I'm gonna keep it a buck. But I was able to get from the blue incense the Meowscarade shiny, which is dope, I'm not gonna lie. And when I clicked it, you could barely tell. The only difference, I believe, is like the flower and like a little bit of like a brighter color to the Pokemon. It's not that noticeable, I'm gonna keep it a buck. But on top of that, it almost ran, which I was just, I don't even know what I would have done. I thought I got like speed locked, but it didn't run away. It didn't run away. So I was luckily able to catch it, and I was pretty scared it was gonna run away. So I'm glad it didn't. But I want y'all to let me know in the comments below on how your event was going, how it's going, how it's been. I don't know if the event's over by the time I'm uploading this. Hopefully it's not. So thank y'all so much for showing up. God bless. Jesus loves y'all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see y'all in the next video.